This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. This is Makeup by Mario's Ethereal Eyes, and apparently it's back and it's here to stay. So I thought we would do a look. The only reason you've seen me stop using it is because nobody could get it. So that's sad, right? But now we can have fun with it again. So I'm gonna start with Bisque. I wanted a pretty bright brow bone. And I don't think I've actually paired the liquid shadows with this, so I'm kind of excited for that. Let's get this really nice and smoothed out with our C31. I'm not gonna worry too much about all the way down here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna clean up my lid or at least put a different eyeshadow base there for our sparkles. Let's go a little warmer. I'm gonna grab that shade and just start to press it kind of into the socket using an E28. These are extremely soft shadows. And I'm going to kind of tell you this, it's going to sound like a critique, it's not. But when you have shadows that are this soft, they can be a little bit more difficult to work with. But I feel that when you understand where to hold a brush, and I know that it sounds already so complicated, blah, blah, blah. I understand, I'm not trying to defend or critique, but what I am trying to do is just, if you already have it, I have seen people say, I'm grabbing this color, that it's a little bit trickier to work with. The only thing I'm going to tell you not to do with this palette is to grab a bunch and then just start swiping. That's where it has a hard time. It doesn't need to be more intricate than what I just told you. I don't want you to feel like you have to grab it only on a Tuesday at like 2 p.m. when the weather's just right. That's not what I'm saying. But that initial laydown of pigment really doesn't like this. That's it. So it is a more soft, I don't want to say delicate because then it sounds like it's too difficult, because we're all on a different makeup journey, but I have total faith in all of you. But not all eyeshadow formulas are the same. And if you look at Mario's style, his looks are always very, very soft. And I feel like all of these textures lend themselves to his style of artistry. And if you like that, then you like the palette. I'm grabbing this shade again and just kind of softening this. I am gonna grab some darker shades. I wanna do a little bit of a cut crease, I think. Why not? I feel like we haven't done one in a while. And then let's grab some of this shade. Put that on the brow bone, just as a blur. Soften that. Tap, 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 tap. I wanna use a little bit of this shade, but now that we have our groundwork laid down and we kind of have the beginning of the shape, once I clean this up, you'll understand what I'm saying. But now we can take a fluffier brush and just kind of press it over and then just do some soft little blending motions. Again, I don't want you to be afraid of these motions, but when you're kind of getting any eyeshadow look started, I would always find that I get out of control very quickly because YouTube many moons ago, all that was being recommended was a big fluffy brush like this and to kind of just whack it on. So the technique that I have kind of honed for myself and the one that I teach is to kind of lay that groundwork, and then we can lightly start to add in some transitions, soften, and blend this way. It really, really works for me. I'm gonna grab this shade and I wanna add some depth in the socket, and I'll bring it out of the socket a little bit. If I just hide it completely in the socket, it won't be able to be seen unless my eyes closed. So first, find it here. I'm finding it. I'm literally feeling for the bone. Super creepy, I know, but it makes a difference. Then I start to lightly transition that out. This is where the madness starts to make a little bit more sense, and it's really fun to watch. I also have fuzz in my ring. Actually, that's Doug hair, my dog. It's kind of annoying. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna wipe my brush on Sheila and just keep perfecting. And now look at how much space we're gonna have for all that sparkle. One of my favorite cut crease, I can't talk, I'm too excited, cut crease tips is to actually, don't be afraid to go in and darken this. It's actually easier to blend from, say, the bottom here and go up than it is to kind of blend from here and back down. So just come from underneath. Small brushes are so key, my friends. I know I'm really repetitive with that, but the moment I started using smaller brushes, because think about the eye area, even though I know you're thinking, Rose, you have a ton of lid space, and I do, but I don't have as much as I used to. I'm almost 40, my friends. But small brushes just make everything so much easier. The eye area, as big as mine is, it's still a very small area. One thing about me is if I do an ad for something, you best believe that I've actually been using it and I continue to use it. I still want to get a little bit more depth here. So I'm going to use these. These are the Urban Decay liquid sticks. This is the brown one. And then I do grab an E26. I know I'm being a little finicky here, but I'm having a little bit of fun with my cut crease today. So I wanted to add just a little bit more depth. And these have what I like to think is the perfect playtime, because they don't dry just instantly, but then they also don't take so long to dry that they start to smudge and get weird. I really love these. So I have this Glam eye primer on my lid. And the reason I'm gonna recommend this one is because it really clings to sparkles. And that's one of the things I've seen about this palette that people don't enjoy quite as much is the sparkle fallout. So if you can get your hands on this or anything that is a kind of clear base that once you kind of work it in, you can kind of feel a little bit of grip, that is going to be great for sparkles. Let's take this one out here. And I just had a fun idea. I kind of want to do another look with, say, all of these colors, but a green base, because these kind of shades, they're pretty transparent. See how you can see my skin? This one not as much, but I know that these two are, and I kind of want to do a green look, but with those on top. So I think that'd be really, really fun. Okay, let me finish this up. Back with our liquid sticks. I actually haven't been reaching for a classic pot gel liner. I feel like these are pot gel liners, but easier. I like them a lot. Now I am looking for my E26 that has RUN and OFT. And there goes the C30 and something else. That's okay, because this kind of speaks to the dry time. Pull it over this way, and then I want to put the shimmer on top. I'll show you. In fact, I'm not going to worry too much about that top part because I want to top it with this shade. Let's do our lily lashes in the style Go Getter, and then I'm going to go film a couple things if you can't tell by what's on my cheek. There are makeup problems to be figured out and solved. I think I'm going to get a cape and wear it while I film. All right, be back in a second. A little bit of the dark brown, and I'm going to do this before I set my concealer. Just in case there is, I think we're good. I'm actually using that wet concealer kind of to my advantage. That way we don't have fallout. Look at how pretty this nude is. We'll definitely do our lips together. This one's from Lawless and the shade is Wedding Day. Yeah, I'm gonna be using that too much. Y'all are gonna be sick of it. And then I bought this Summer Fridays lip liner while I was in California. It's in the shade Toffee. And it was long lasting. It wasn't the mega long lasting. Usually when something's clenched, I find in this wood, it's not a super mega long lasting one like the plastic ones, but for a wood clench, this one lasted even longer than my, say, classic MAC lip liners. So, and I really like the color. I really, really like these. I'm gonna get some more of them. And then I wear this Hung Van Gogh lip gloss in the shade 88, which is the year I was born, which is fun. I wear this almost every day now. I love it so much. And I feel this is gonna be wild, but just for this video, I don't think I want any blush. I'm having a little fun not wearing blush. I'm still using blush to color correct, you better believe. But I don't know. I'm kind of wearing the bronzer as a blush. It's just for a minute. No, but I don't wanna hear any gasps. It's okay. I'm just having a little fun. Let's finish up with a little inner corner sass. And I will say, from that eyeshadow base, look, we're not really having any kind of sparkle fallout. Now we might here because I don't have the base there. We could have put it, I could have prevented any kind of sparkle fallout with just a little bit of that clear base here, but I did want to kind of notice that. I wanted you to notice that is what I'm saying. It's very, very minimal. All right, my friends, this is our finished look. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I did have to film a couple things off camera, so that's why I did do the whole face, but it was a fun cut crease tutorial. We had a lot of fun, and I'm glad this is back. I know that there's some mixed reviews on this, but for me, I've always enjoyed it. I will say, if you don't want a whole bunch of fallout, that clear eyeshadow base trick really helps to where it doesn't migrate later. So just keep that in mind if you already have it. If you're not in the market for a palette, just ignore everything I said and just watch the video like this. All right, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.